annual Shining Light Awards, breast cancer awards that motivate and inspire. I hope you are enjoying your breakfast so far. If you haven't finished, please continue your meal as we begin today's program. I had a coughing spell all of a sudden. I'm Tanetta Brown, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees, and I am also Director of Community Impact at United Way as my day job. I'm so honored that you're able to be here today for this very special occasion, and for the third year, I'm honored to serve as your MC. I'd like to take a moment, though, to acknowledge all of the wonderful people and organizations who have worked tirelessly to make today's event a success. None of this would be possible without the help of our friends and our amazing team of DBCC board members, staff, our planning committee, and of course our volunteers. I'd like to take a moment to also acknowledge the fantastic chair of the Shining Light Awards Committee, Sue Bowlby, for her leadership and support for the fourth year in a row. Please stand, Sue. And also, if the rest of the committee members could stand and be acknowledged. Cheryl Hikes, if she's here. Rena Howard. Robert Martinelli. Linda Powell. Thank you. We also had an outstanding selection committee who helped us comb through all of the wonderful Shining Lights nominations we received, and I'd like to ask them to stand. Sharon Baker, Pete Booker, Laura Ferguson, Bernetta Dorsey, Patty Key, Megan Mahoney Hudson, Carol Ona Robbins, John Shavak, Nicole Surratt, Howell Wallace, and I served as chair of the selection committee. Thank you all. At this time, more recognition, our honorary event committee members, asking them to stand if they would. Stacy Bakary, Arthur G. Chip Connelly, III, Drew Fennell, Representative Deborah Heffernan, Adam David Howard, Marilyn Height, Steve Monty Montgomery, Carol Robbins, Representative Pete Schwarzkopf, Dr. Carol Odom Walker, and Ginger Weiss. Thank you all for your service. All of us at the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition consider ourselves fortunate to have such an outstanding delegation of leaders to represent us both in Delaware and in Washington, D.C. We are joined by First Lady Tracy Quillen Carney, the Honorable Nancy Cooke, Kathy McGinnis, Cyril Poppity, I believe, is in the room, and Valerie Longhurst. I haven't seen Valerie this morning, so. Will you, as you've all stood, and if there are any other elected officials or officers that we've missed, please stand to be acknowledged, and we thank you for your service as well. I missed something there. So now, we all know today would not be possible without the help of our event sponsors. Both financial sponsorship and in-kind support allows us to reach the community to share our message of breast health. Thank you to all of our sponsors and contributors, Mrs. Tatiana Copeland, the Bakary family, Highmark Delaware, Eileen Sullivan Edmonds, and Nate Edmonds, SEI Investments, Wisvis Bank, Corexcel, Delaware Today, Regional Hematology and Oncology, Helen F. Graham Cancer Center at Christiana Care Health System, Mid-Delaware Imaging, Vicky Cooke, Carol Levin, Donna Stinson, Patricia Key, Linda and Jerry Powell, Alpaca Signs, Flowers by Yoki, and Ronnie's Garden World. As you see, we have a wealth of supporters and sponsors. Also, anyone we may have inadvertently forgot to mention, thank you so much for your contributions, and thank you all for helping to make today a huge success. All of the proceeds, by the way, raised at today's event go back into local programming and services of the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, providing support, education, and outreach to our neighbors affected by breast cancer. Now, I'd like to take the time to introduce you to the new, 6 months in, I believe, Executive Director of the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, Eileen Sullivan Edmonds.
I am a two-time survivor myself, and my sister Annette is a survivor. I have been involved with DBCC for over 20 years. I started when I was just wee tall. I started in a variety of capacities. First, I was a client, a volunteer, a staff member. I evolved to become a board member, co-founder of Young Survivors in Action, and now I am the executive director. I am glad to see so many familiar faces here this morning. Existing board members, former board members from way back when, volunteers, our loyal sponsors, community and business leaders, elected officials. Thank you all for taking time out of your very busy schedules to spend time with us this morning. And thank you for taking time to honor the very special 27 Shining Lights Awards winners. So shining lights. What is it that we think about when we hear the term shining lights? I'm sure we can all remember times in our lives when shining lights of one sort or another captured our attention, took our breath away, lit up the darkness, or guided us to safety. Sometimes those lights were acts of nature, such as a shooting star, a lightning bug, a sunset, a sunrise, or even the bright dancing lights of the auroras. Other times they were acts of engineering and electricity, whether they were lights on the airstrips guiding planes in, a beacon light leading ships safely into harbor, or even that familiar porch light welcoming you home each evening. In each of these instances, these lights share several things in common. They part the darkness, they guide, they provide comfort and healing, and they inspire hope. There is a different breed of shining lights among us this morning. These are men and women and organizations who live, work, and serve among us. They are unselfish people who have made it part of their lives' journeys to bring a bright ray of light, hope, peace, and comfort to each other, to the community, and to the mission of DBCC. These are the shining lights that we honor this morning. They are the role models we look up to for their selfless service to the women and men in the state of Delaware who are impacted by breast cancer. Without their incredible dedication and contributions, we simply would not be able to do the important work that we do at DBCC. In addition, just like their counterparts in nature and in engineering, our 2017 Shining Lights Awards winners part the darkness. They guide us, they comfort us, they motivate and inspire us. The Shining Lights Awards began in 2014 as a way for DBCC to publicly recognize and thank people and organizations in our community who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty when it comes to supporting DBCC's mission. We are a statewide organization with only a small staff of 23 people, though. We rely on many wonderful partners and volunteers from in the community to help get the word out about our programs and our services, to share our messages about preventative treatment and early detection, and to help us raise money to sustain our important programs and services. The shining lights you will meet this morning have done all of that for us and so much more. As in times, sometimes big occasions such as these can be bittersweet, and such is the case today as we acknowledge two of our previous Shining Lights Award winners who have passed. We'd like to acknowledge them now. First, Jackie Connell, who was a winner of the 2015 Spotlight Survivorship Award. She was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer in the spring of 2009, and at the time of her diagnosis, the cancer had already spread to her bones. She passed away in September 2016, and we will miss her every day for her strength, courage, positive attitude, and strong spirit. We'd also like to acknowledge the recent passing of our friend and winner of the 2014 Spotlight on Survivorship Award, Elizabeth Boers, better known to us as Betty. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1956 at the age of 37. She lived an incredibly vibrant and full life, staying active with church, family, friends, traveling, and donating her time and energy to help others until she recently passed at the grand old age of 98. We all know and are comforted by the fact that shining lights like these two will never really be extinguished.
Hi, I'm Stacy Beccari, survivor and former board member of the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, and I am pleased to present the award, the 2017 Spotlight on Philanthropy Award to Dennis Hallock. If he could please come up. Okay.
Good morning. I'm not really good at this. I'm a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. When I got this email from Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, I sort of forwarded it to the superintendent and said, I got this by mistake. That's what he said, Lois. No, you didn't. None of what we've done over the last 7 years could have been possible. One, without our building principals, our staff, and our students. And I'm lucky enough to have 4 of our principals here today and our board member. One of our board members, John Martin, and I appreciate the support that I received from the district. More to my heart, my family's here. No matter what event I asked them to come to, whether it was staying up until 10, 11 o'clock at night, counting money, or trying to put together a video that we do every year before we present our check, who've always been there. Thank you. You heard in the video that we started this because one of our secretaries and one of our phys ed teachers were diagnosed. I'm happy to say that Susan Hayes, one of our secretaries, had a double mastectomy, but she is extremely healthy and a survivor at this point. One of the ribbons that I wear was given to me in 2010, shortly after Kathy Thomas was diagnosed with breast cancer. She lost her life that year. She's been a member of the Capital School District family for years and still remains in our heart. I have to mention this pin here because I also serve as a court-appointed special advocate for abused and neglected children. And it was interesting to hear the doctor mention trauma and how that affects our kids, to then become adults. In closing, when our then superintendent, Dr. Thomas, and I thought about this, we thought it would take us 10 years to reach the $20,000 mark. This past October, we were at nearly $24,000, and Vicky and Lois have been there for us every step of the way, and I can't thank you enough. We're expected to reach that $30,000 mark with this year's contribution that we will give to them in December. Thank you very much.
I am Mark Turner, President and CEO of WSFS Bank, and it is my great honor and privilege today to present the 2017 Spotlight on Business Shining Light Award to Highmark, Delaware.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mark, for your kind words, and also thank you, Mark, and the entire WSFS team for, I always have had trouble saying that, for all that you do in the community. You're a great example of a very successful organization, but that is also very focused on the community and giving back, and it certainly set the bar high for all of us to follow. I also want to thank the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition for the recognition this morning. Certainly not necessary, but very much appreciated. And really on behalf of our board of directors and our employees, I'm honored and privileged to accept the award this morning. We have several board members that are here with us, and I just want to take a quick second to acknowledge their presence. Bill Willis, who's our board chair. Dr. David Roselle, who is past board chair and a current board member, and Francis West, who is also a past board chair and a current board member, as well as Zaida Guajardo, who is a member of our advisory council. So I want to thank them for their great leadership and allowing us to do what we are doing in the community. I also want to acknowledge and thank our employees. We have a great group of dedicated employees, about 600 employees here, that are focused on serving our customers, but also focused on serving the community. And we have a number of employees here today with me. So I want to actually thank you for your presence and all that you do in the community. Since 1935, Highmark, Delaware has been focused on serving our customers and also helping improve the health of Delawareans. To do that, we've partnered with a number of incredible organizations, and Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition is an example of one of those organizations. It's a partnership we've had for several years, and one that I would say we get more out of than we give, and we're very thankful to be able to partner with DBCC. Look forward to our continued partnership with DBCC. So again, I want to thank everyone today for your attendance. I want to thank DBCC for this award, and also want to congratulate all the honorees today for your efforts in helping improve the health of Delawareans. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me here. I'm Mike O'Brien. I'm the local account manager from Hallock. I'm going to steal that video. It's like great video. I can use that in my calls with customers. It's great to see a lot of familiar faces here, especially folks that are really passionate about providing to Delaware, early adopters of 3D mammography. And I want to present the winner of the 2017 Spotlight of Healthcare Delivery and Research is Mid-Delaware Imaging.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank DBCC for providing remarkable services in our society and also giving us this award for our efforts in curing and preventing breast cancer. In 1975, when I came to this country, which is now more than 42 years ago, I was only 27 years old with $210 in my pocket, spending my first night at JFK Airport on that sofa because I didn't have enough money to stay in a hotel. At that time, I never ever thought that someday someone in this country will give me this award and recognize my services. Thank you, DBCC. I would also like to thank Mike O'Brien from Logic, who is donating $5,000 to DVCC on behalf of Mid-Delaware Imaging. Logic happens to be the leader in 3D mammography. This is something we acquired about 2.5 years ago. I sat down with my two boys, so you saw them on the video screen, and we discussed whether we should get 3D mammogram or not. And two important things that we talked about. First, the cost. It was worth more than $400,000, which is 4 times more than 2D mammogram. And second, the benefit. The literature told us that 3D mammogram will detect 25% more breast cancers than 2D mammogram. So I told my boys, look, when we screen 800 women, that is means 800 mammograms, we pick up 4 breast cancers. 25% more means just 1 more breast cancer instead of 4 or 5. In other words, we are spending 4 times more money just to detect 1 more cancer out of 800 women. So both my boys told me right away, Dad, in general it is 25%, but for that fifth woman, it is 100%. So we decided we have to go for 3D mammogram. Some of the insurance companies were not reimbursing. We said, doesn't matter, we will do it free. From last 40 years, nearly 40 years, I have been reading these mammograms. And we see all the time in paper, on TV, that mammogram saves life. But I noticed something different in my practice. A woman comes for a mammogram, first mammogram, totally normal. Then she shows up after 4 or 5 years, and suddenly we see a stage 4 breast cancer. So I realized there's something wrong somewhere, So I decided to sit down with every single woman who comes in our office from last 8 years. After the study is done, I go over with them, show them, teach them, educate them, and tell them that how important it is to get mammogram every year. But trust me, it has made a big difference. It is my wish that with properly educating our women and with this new 3D technology, a day will come when no woman will die of breast cancer in this country. Thank you.
And now, we'd like to present the award for the Spotlight on Survivorship, well-deserved, to Deloris Donnelly.
Thank you, Lois and Wilma. You two are the incredible caring ones who've helped Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition go statewide and help so many of us survivors. We are truly grateful to you. We are grateful to all of the DBCC people and those who have worked so hard for so many years with all the programs that have been put out there for our state. We're so excited to be here today. Frank and I came up from Florida, and I was told I should thank him first. So I do indeed thank you first. We have learned so much. We've met so many wonderful people. We have been able to do things outdoors that possibly breast cancer survivors would never have thought of doing inside. So we're pleased to be able to accept this award and receive your recognition for all survivors. And I particularly would like those who have participated in any of our Nurture with Nature programs to stand. Because of DBCC, you have allowed these people and many, many others to do things they wouldn't have done before. And believe me, Dennis, I'd much rather be teaching about horseshoe crabs. I'm a little behind the scenes as well, except when you get outdoors. But we have been able to kayak, and we have Joan with us today, who I will never forget the first day she went out as a survivor, her arm was quite large with lymphedema, and the first thing she said is, "My husband told me not to get on the water." Well, guess where Joan was? In the lead canoe. And guess whose picture made the newspaper that day? So we've had lots of great experiences. Last week when we came up from Florida, Lois scheduled a program and we went out to the bay to do horseshoe crabs again. So it is a program that works well because it allows us not only to learn, but it allows us to be together with each other, sharing our sadness, sharing our happiness, and encouraging us to go forward. Delaware Breast Cancer Society and Coalition, I thank you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that we can continue this journey together, getting lots more people outside to enjoy nature, and may all of you be nurtured with it as well.
So good morning, and thank you for being here. And Addie, thank you for your sweet cameo appearance on the video. And these beautiful children you see, they belong to me. They're my grandchildren. So good morning, and thank you for being here. And Addie, thank you for your sweet cameo appearance on the video. And these beautiful children you see, they belong to me. They're my grandchildren. So I am truly amazed and humbled by this distinction. In my wildest dreams in my life plan did I ever expect to be here accepting this wonderful award. It is such an honor not only to receive the inaugural Victoria Cooke Award, there's something about this, but to have one named after me is beyond my wildest imagination. I just never expected anything in my life. But as I stand here accepting this tribute, I can only accept it in honor of all those who helped the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition be the well-respected statewide resource it is today. I look out into the audience and I see so many individuals, donors who believed in the mission and the direction of our work. So please stand and stay standing when I acknowledge your name or your relationship with DBCC. And you might have to acknowledge that yourself. I see early leaders like Rena Howard, Wilma Yu, Eileen Sullivan Edmonds, and John Kahn, the doctors Dennis Whitmer and Diana Dixon Whitmer, who all provided direction during DBCC's early grassroots efforts and continue to support the organization today. Former State Senator Lyon Sorensen, along with, you're not standing. No, everybody stand. The former State Senator Lyon Sorensen, along with the late Maureen Lauterbach, who led the effort for the DBCC's state tax checkoff back whenever only a couple agencies were allowed to be part of the state tax checkoff. Board members, past and present, who are here today, like Stacy Beccari, Sue Bowlby, Marsha Barnett, Amy Norgate, Ciro Papady, Matt Stell, Dr. Mary McLaughlin, Laird Stabler, Linda Powell, Donna Stinson, Tanetta Brown, Nancy Blumberg, Dr. Jacqueline Holt, Deloris Donnelly, and of course our current board president, Patty Key. Did I get all the board members? It has been your leadership and direction that has guided this agency. We have amazing staff members, both past and present, who, because of their passion, has ensured, I almost said endured, DBCC's success, serving thousands of women and men in this state. You are the very best individuals a person could work beside. So where's the staff? Are you all standing? It is the survivors and the caregivers who have reached out to us for support and keeps us true to our mission. So all the survivors. It has been the committed donors, both individuals and companies, that provide the funds for us to do our work. All the companies, sponsors, stand up. Those who volunteer for DBCC and Great Stuff, Savvy Resale and Home Store, who extend our mission to their customers. Our programming partners, like other nonprofits in the state of Delaware, who help identify those in need of services and life-saving mammograms. Are we still standing? It has been DBC's friends, and also my personal friends, now there's a whole table, and my close relationships, who have been there for me in the agency, supporting and volunteering and encouraging my out-of-the-box thinking. My close relationships are not standing. But my little ones stay down. And, and most importantly, it has been my family. Not gonna cry. Rory, Karen, and Kelly, my daughters. My sons-in-law, Dwayne Oakes, Brandon Benner, Michael Godoy, Michael couldn't be here today, and my beautiful grandchildren, Jack, Catherine, Brendan, that's cool, Olivia, Amelia, Adeline, Amada, Megan, and Corbin, and my sister Melanie. They have never stood in my way, but always gave me the strength to keep going, and always understanding if I couldn't be at one of their events or needing them to be at a DBCC site. And of course, my husband Mike, who I know is with us today, I would cry now. He was a champion and encouraged me to be the advocate. So at this point, everybody should be standing. Everyone stand. As you all stand here this morning, please give yourself a hand, because you're the reason I'm standing. I can only accept this award in honor of all of you. Thank you.
I hope you will continue to support Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition throughout the year by staying engaged with our organization, because our mission is to empower our community by raising awareness of breast health issues through outreach, education, and supportive services, in order to facilitate the early detection and treatment of breast cancer. As already noted, all the money raised at today's event will help provide programming and support to you and your neighbors who have been touched by breast cancer in Delaware in various ways. Our peer mentor support, beginning your breast cancer journey classes, our annual breast cancer research update, programs for survivors, mammography and cervical screenings, and breast health outreach and education in our communities. If you'll visit our website, debreastcancer.org, or see one of the DBCC staff at the end of the program to learn even more. And if you know someone who is diagnosed with breast cancer, please tell them about DBCC. By the way, the blue folders that you saw our honorees receive with their award, Senator Tom Carper took the time to personalize a letter to each one of those honorees. So I can't wait for you to take the time to read those and just see his sentiments. They were very personalized. It wasn't a form letter, so he took the time to sign and write individual messages to the folks. So as I said earlier, a little housekeeping, we will take some photos. The gentleman's been doing a great job here this morning in front of our step and repeat this morning. So if I could have all the presenters, award winners, our board president, Parikh, our executive director, come back for a quick group photo before you leave. There are countless heroes and heroines in the battle against breast cancer, so please keep this in mind, and next year be sure to nominate those who make a difference for the 2018 Shining Light Awards. Thank you again for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend.